Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, a recall has been issued for two of Nissan's most popular models.
And we'll have the latest updates on the deadly train crash that rocked Greece last night.
It's currently 75 degrees and we're now under a tornado watch until 10 p.m. Keep watching to hear about tonight's severe storms and what to expect in weather. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Joseph Rogers.
And I'm Verlicia Gavin. We have some severe weather heading our way tonight, so weather anchor Mackenzie Cox is here to update us on what to expect in the next couple of days. Mackenzie?
Yes, we are in for some severe weather in the next few days and the rest of this week. Let's take a look at this map from the National Weather Service in Memphis. They currently have us at a level 3 or enhanced risk, which means that numerous severe storms are possible. The timing for this, well, it's just now getting underway, 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. with the ideal time for severe weather falling between 7 and 10. So I know that's a little bit of a large timeline, so it's going to be really important that we remain weather aware throughout the storm and the round that's proceeding tomorrow. Our main threats for today, damaging winds with gusts of 70 miles per hour or higher, some large hail, and then also the potential for strong tornadoes. So that's something we definitely want to keep an eye on, make sure that you have ways to receive those alerts, multiple ways. And then a secondary threat, we're also under an aerial flood watch until end of day Friday. So we are going to be receiving large amounts of rain. That's something to keep in mind as you go about your day and the rest of your week. Stay tuned for more information about our tornado watch tonight and what the rest of these storms are going to look like.
There is a bill proposed in Mississippi that would allow fire departments to give benefits to volunteer firefighters. Reporter Kyle Wakefield talked with the fire department's public relations representative to learn how this affects Oxford stations and volunteers.
It's hot and dangerous work, and Mississippi lawmakers are trying to make this job better for volunteer firefighters by boosting their benefits. This is Captain Bo Moore with the Lafayette Fire Department.
As well. And you start at that level if you don't have any experience, and we'll train you up to make you a certified firefighter. And we do that at no cost to.
Moore says there are volunteers all over the country that have started as volunteers.
So it's been a really great foundation for some of those individuals.
If it becomes law, the measure would give volunteers a small amount of money. That could help students or anybody in Mississippi who becomes a firefighter.
We really hope that our lawmakers are able to bring this bill through fruition and that it can become an active program in the state of Mississippi that helps Lafayette County and also our surrounding areas.
The state of Mississippi is offering volunteer firefighters to be more helpful in the community. The bill will benefit younger firefighters to get more experience in the field. I'm Kyle Wakefield, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
This bill has passed in the House and will move to the Senate for further consideration. Well, I'm very happy for those volunteer firefighters because I'm sure they do a lot.
Shout out to the first responders. Yes. They definitely need to be taken care of. And on campus, it's time for midterms, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Spring break. Reporter Graham Farrell hit the campus to find all the top spots students are traveling to in just 10 days.
At Ole Miss are ready to switch from hitting the books to hitting the beach, as spring break is only 10 days away.
I'm really excited because I'm a senior, so this is my last spring break, my last vacation. I'm going out of the country, and it's just kind of the last chance I get to go have fun and be a kid.
Some students plan on hanging out with friends and family.
A bunch of my friends are going there, and I have my buddy's got a house down there. So
see all my buddies. Nice. They gotta work, so they can't go to the beach or anything, so we gotta just do what we can at the house.
While others are booking exotic vacations. The top destinations this year are beach locations in the U.S. as well as international.
Santa Rosa, Florida.
Miramar, Destin.
No matter where students are going, they have the same plan.
Having a good time, honestly.
As spring break approaches, students are looking forward to having a week off of classes and a week in the sun, relaxing with family or with friends. This is Graham Farrell reporting for NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Remember to be safe and responsible while on spring break.
Coming up, time is ticking for the popular video sharing app TikTok.
And we'll have an update on the latest developments regarding the train wreck in Greece. More ahead on NewsWatch.
Does it ever seem like some people are actually trying to destroy the planet? And the rest of us are like, hey, we need this planet. Some people may be slow to learn, but they'll eventually get the message.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
When you have a hole in your neck, don't face the shower head.
Suction out your dough before you eat. Crouch. Don't bend over. You don't want to lose the food in your stomach. Don't use spray paint.
Be very careful shaving.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Legacy isn't just about where you're from, it's about where you're going. So where are you going?
I'm going to be the first in my family to graduate.
I'm going to make a difference.
Just like my granddad.
I'm going to make the bestseller list.
And I'm going to help him get there.
I'm going to win a championship.
Again! I'm going to lock the vault! Hotty toddy!
I'm going to take the next step.
I'm going to bring them to their feet.
I'm going to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Build your legacy.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. If you drive a Nissan, heads up. Nissan Rogue drivers need to be aware of an important factory recall that the company just announced. The car maker is recalling more than 712,000 Rogue and Rogue Sport Compact SUVs. The reason? These models can shut off accidentally while driving. The recall is for Nissan Rogues made between 2016 through 2020 and Rogue Sports made between 2017 through 2022. In the design, an internal joint within the key can weaken over time, which may cause the key to accidentally fold while in use. And if it's bumped while in the ignition, the vehicle may shut off while in use. Scary if you happen to be on the road at the time. Now, Nissan says it doesn't currently have a solution to the problem, but they advise drivers to avoid attaching anything to the key that might weigh it down. The car maker also says drivers should insert the key into the ignition in a direction that allows it to fold only upward. The company says it will begin alerting individual owners about the recall later in March.
New legislation could make it easier to ban TikTok in the United States. If passed, the bill, which names TikTok and its parent company ByteDance, would require President Biden to impose penalties against the companies that could restrict the use of the app in the U.S. If the White House determines TikTok knowingly gave away sensitive user data to anyone working in or under the influence of the Chinese government, a nationwide ban could be put in place. We asked Ole Miss students how they feel about the bill and what it could mean for them.
I think that a lot of people are worried about information theft and people worrying about the Chinese government hacking into your phones. I don't know how realistic that is, but honestly I think it's kind of, I wouldn't say an infringement of privacy, but it's if I want it on my phone, I'm a grown man. I weighed those options myself. I decided I want to watch TikTok. I don't really want to deal with someone telling me no, you can't have that app on my phone if I made that decision for me. I have a mom already. I don't feel like I need the state government or the federal government to tell me what's unsafe or what's safe. I'm good.
The bill passed through the House Foreign Affairs Committee and will now move to the House floor and then the Senate to be voted on. The 7.8 magnitude earthquake that struck Turkey 3 weeks ago devastated the country, killing more than 40,000 individuals and reducing most buildings to rubble. Reporter Laura Wynn spent time with Beyza Çila, a Turkish student who is earning her PhD at Ole Miss, to hear her perspective on the catastrophe that hits too close to home.
The reaction was basically, my hands got cold, I couldn't, I think, breathe normally, and I tried to stay calm because I know that all my family.
This was how Turkey student Beyza Chila felt after seeing her screen filled with frantic text from her family group chat on a Sunday evening in early February. Chila was hosting friends at her home, not paying attention to her phone, but quickly realized something was not right.
As soon as I see my screen, I saw a text from my mom, which was sent 10 minutes ago, saying that, Beyza, I don't know if my messages are going through. We are fine. We are outside. Don't worry about us.
She soon put the pieces together, realizing an earthquake had struck her hometown in Turkey. What she didn't know, how severe it really was.
There was a family that we were very close with, not blood relatives, but very close family friends we had. My parents and my siblings went to check on them because we could not reach to their phones. And when they told me, I mean, they had to show me the condition of the apartment. That's how I realized how big the earthquake was.
Chila has lived in the U.S. for the last 5 years, attending Ole Miss as both a master's and PhD student because of the Fulbright scholarship. Her hometown rests at the epicenter of the earthquake, leaving her family in the most dangerous area.
They told me that it took so long, and it felt so long. Having the aftershock 10 minutes later, which was almost, I think, a 7 magnitude 2, made them feel like there is no escape.
This fault zone is relatively inactive. Its release of pressure could be substantial. Her family has evacuated their hometown like most others, and Chila remains grateful for their safety and her community of support in Oxford.
But I realized that being busy, having responsibilities, schoolwork, teaching responsibilities, literally made me go through, helped me go through this phase.
So we talked about what is the state of your country now? Like it's been 3 weeks, and how are you doing now? What's your perspective?
Laurel Wynn, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
If you would like to help those in Turkey in the aftermath, you can visit sites like UNICEF and Doctors Without Borders to find ways to donate.
At least 43 people are dead and dozens are injured following a head-on train collision in Greece. Just before midnight last night, a passenger train carrying over 350 people collided with a freight train after what the Greek Prime Minister called a fatal human error. The conductor of the passenger train altered its course and switched tracks without realizing another train was on the same line. We're still learning more on this story, but right now the Greek Minister of Travel has resigned and the manager of the train station has been charged with mass deaths through negligence. And coming up after the break, we will have Mackenzie Cox with the latest weather updates.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Two flashlights. What's up, champ? Feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you.
Welcome back. It's been warm and sunny all week, but this is Mississippi.
And that means our weather is always changing, and today is no exception. Here's Mackenzie Cox with more.
Yes, you're right about this change. This is certainly a far step from where we were last week, but let's take a look at our current conditions. 75 degrees is our current temperature, but we are under a tornado watch that expires at 10 p.m. Central. Right now we have some scattered storms just starting to move in through the region. Those will intensify later tonight. Winds coming in south-southwest at 6 miles per hour. I would expect those to pick up, and a 20% chance of precipitation. But let's look at the rest of the region and see how they're faring as well. We have mostly 70s throughout, Tupelo being our warmest at 77, and all of this region is also under the tornado watch until 10 p.m. So definitely a concern for storms moving on across northern Mississippi. Let's see. And then for tonight's forecast, we are going to be dropping to 66. You can expect that rain to at least cool things off, but our storms are going to start to pick up around 7 p.m. and I expect that's going to go through 10 p.m. But you will still have rains and scattered storms throughout the evening, not letting up until early tomorrow morning. So that's something you want to look out for. Winds west-southwest 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts up to 70 miles per hour or higher according to the National Weather Service. So wind is a top concern and a 40% chance of precipitation. Here, we're gonna put this into perspective a little bit. You can see how this storm is starting to move across our region, and that tornado watch spans from Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi. All of those areas are included in this watch. This is going to be moving on through the coming days, and we're going to get hit by this bottom section there, so there is some rotation to consider in the curve of this storm. Tomorrow's forecast, it will be 72. We'll still have those thunderstorms. I would expect a break between 3 a.m. and about 8 a.m. before things start to pick up again, but you're definitely going to want to have an umbrella with you on that walk to class. You're going to need it. Winds will be calming down, and then precipitation 90%, so definitely going to get some rain tomorrow, with the severe storms tomorrow coming in also in the late evening. In tomorrow's temperatures, we're going to be dropping a little bit. You can actually see how some are getting warmer and some are getting cooler. So you can definitely see that instability in the atmosphere that's going to contribute to those lines of storms coming through tomorrow. And just to recap our severe weather threat, it's going to continue until early Friday morning. Damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes are the main threats. We're also under an aerial flood watch until Friday at 6 p.m. So it's really important that you stay weather aware through these coming days and that you have a plan, discuss it with your roommates, the people you live with, make sure that you stay safe and you have an area to go. But taking a step back and looking at our 5-day forecast, those storms will be moving on out and we should be in for a pretty nice weekend. Some sun and maybe some overcast skies, but pleasant temperatures, and all around it will turn around and be good.
So I know that weather isn't good for anyone, but I definitely know it's not good for the boys on the baseball team considering they had a game today.
Yeah, they moved the game back actually to 3 o'clock, so hopefully they avoid the rain and the inclement weather. But coming up for sports, we're taking a look at Kermit Davis's career with Ole Miss, and the baseball team is currently trying to tie their midweek series against Louisiana Tech. Don't go anywhere.
Creating a legacy takes time, takes dedication, spirit, and a greater vision. That vision starts here at the University of Mississippi. What will you be remembered by? Your character, your contributions, your friendship. Your legacy will define who we are now and who we are becoming for our state, our students, and our future. Ole Miss, build your legacy.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Welcome back. Men's basketball head coach Kermit Davis has parted ways with Ole Miss after 5 seasons. Reporter Ryan Vandenbroek has more on his time here and what the future holds for the team. Ryan?
Thanks, Aiden. Lots of people are excited and some are frustrated over the news of former head coach Kermit Davis leaving Ole Miss. I took a deep dive into the 5 seasons spent at head coach and the ups and downs along the way.
Men's basketball head coach Kermit Davis started his career with the Rebs with a record of 20-13 and an NCAA appearance, but was unable to replicate the success since. Now, Davis and Ole Miss have mutually agreed to part ways.
That's good offense.
Davis is leaving with a record of 74 wins and 79 losses and leading them to 1 NCAA appearance. Nearing the end of his 5th season with the Rebs,
Ole Miss
Davis
running
will
some
leave
stuff.
with a record of 32
launches in,
55 for the
connects.
SEC.
Travel Burns down inside.
He had highlights in his career, such as bringing Ole Miss 4-star recruits Matthew Morrell and Deshaun Ruffin,
Matthew Morrell,
and hiring assistant coach Win Case, who will serve as head coach for the last remaining games.
And the thing that I told my guys after the game, I'm just very proud of them. I mean, they continue to fight. And the thing we want to try to do is get better with each ball game.
Ole Miss Athletics already started looking for a new head coach.
Morrell
And some hires include former Texas Longhorns coach
no.
Chris Beard, Dusty May, current head coach of FAU, and North Texas coach Grant McCaslin.
Keeping it on the court, the Ole Miss men's basketball team celebrated senior night last night, but ended up losing to Texas A&M 69-61. The Rebels were up by as many as 12 points in the first half before the Aggies decided to come back and take a 6-point lead into halftime. The Rebels attempted a comeback of their own, getting within 2 points after back-to-back threes by Matthew Morrell and TJ Caldwell, but it was all Aggies from there on out. Morrell had a season-high 26 points and a career-high 8 three-pointers, but it wasn't enough for Ole Miss to take the victory. Ole Miss will be playing at Missouri this Saturday at 2:30 on SEC Network. Flipping it over to the Diamond, the Ole Miss baseball team hosted the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs last night for a 2-game midweek series and ended up losing 6-5, giving the Rebels their 2nd loss of the year. Shortstop Jacob Gonzalez went 4 for 4 at the plate and added a walk, but the Rebels couldn't capitalize with runners on base. Freshman right-hander JT Quinn got the start for the Rebels and struck out a career-high 7 batters. But in the 5th inning, the Bulldogs scored 5 runs to help capture the victory. Although Ole Miss had 13 hits, they left 13 runners on base with multiple opportunities to tack on some runs.
You just move the ball once, you get 1 run. If you move it twice, you probably get 2 runs. So, there's 3 runs that you normally count on to put a couple crooked numbers up there, extend the lead a little bit, takes a little pressure off. But, again, we got to figure out how to get off the field too.
During the break, the Rebels were up 4-3 in the 7th inning, brave the elements, and get out to Swayze Field to support the team. That's all I've got for sports. Be sure to tune in to Rebel Watch on Fridays at 5 for coverage on Ole Miss sports and beyond.
Thanks, Aiden. Up next, are you a cat person or at least an animal lover?
If so, stay tuned. We'll have a story on how to help some fluffy friends looking for a home. More ahead after the break.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. Ready! That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Now, we hear a lot about stray dogs, but what about stray cats?
Luckily, a certain campus-based organization is here to make sure cats in Oxford have loving homes.
NewsWatch reporter Katie Simmons has more.
Every pet deserves a loving home, and 9 Lives Cat Rescue makes sure that happens. It was founded in 2006 by self-proclaimed cat lady Natasha Teachin-Scott.
Well, I was with a student organization FUR on campus, and we found more and more socialized cats that we needed to find homes for.
Now it has grown into so much more. Scott says the initial idea was to take care of feral cats on campus, but more and more people were offering socialized cats that needed to be rehomed.
A lot of times the alternative for unwanted cats is to be euthanized, or they get to people that don't love animals.
Since then, 9 Lives Cat Rescue has rehomed over 200 cats every year through their fostering and adoption program. 9 Lives Cat Rescue continues to save lives every day, and you can be a part of that. All you have to do is fill out a form on www.9livescatrescue.com, and you can have a cat just like this in your home.
And we ask them a couple of questions, like if they want to foster adult cats or kittens, or if they can do medical fosters where they need to give medications. And then they give us a short answer, then we talk to them on the phone.
From there, you will be matched up with whichever cat or kitten would fit best in your home. But this matching process isn't as simple as it sounds.
We do some background search, ask references, and see if it is a good match. Personally, we want to make sure that the cat is a good match for someone.
If it doesn't work out, the organization will kindly take the cat back and find it a more suitable home. The adoption fee is $65 to $70, and through donations, the organization also offers to help pay for spay and neutering. So, if you're interested for a sign to have a furry friend in your home, consider 9 Lives Cat Rescue. Katie Simmons, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Even if you're not a cat person, you can still contribute by donating to the 9 Lives Cat Rescue on their website.
Now, I'm personally not a cat person, but I do think that that's a great organization to have for anyone looking to bring home a new cat.
I wouldn't mind cuddling up with a little cat and maybe a good book with this nasty weather.
Well, that's all for tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Verlicia Gavin.
And I'm Joseph Rogers. Be sure to keep up with us on social media, and we will see you again tomorrow at 5.
Thank you and good night.